Have you ever paused and thought, I worked hard, raised my family, did what I was supposed to, so why does money still feel like a weight I carry? You're not alone. For millions of older Americans, that question lingers quietly in the background. The truth is, financial stress often doesn't come from big mistakes. It comes from small choices, everyday habits that feel normal, even responsible, but slowly drain our peace of mind. This video isn't about judgment or complex financial jargon. It's a calm, honest look at 10 common traps that many of us fall into, especially later in life. The good news? You can still choose differently. You're not behind. You're not too late. So take a breath, leave regret at the door, and let's walk through these 10 traps together, with clarity, with confidence, and with the wisdom you've earned. 1. The comfort that costs too much. Let's start with something that sounds safe, whole life insurance. It's often sold as a smart 2-in-1 deal. Protect your family and build wealth. But here's what many people aren't told. Whole life policies can cost 5 to 10 times more than simple term life insurance. And most of that extra money goes to fees and commissions, not to you. You might pay $4,000 a year for coverage. After 10 years, that's $40,000 spent. And yet, when you check the cash value, you might see less than $30,000. Meanwhile, the agent who sold it to you likely made thousands up front. The returns grow slowly, often too slowly to outpace inflation. There's a smarter path. Buy term and invest the difference. That means you get affordable protection during the years your loved ones need it most, and you put the savings into something that grows, like a retirement account or index fund. Over time, that choice gives you both security and freedom. If you already have a whole life policy, don't panic. You may be able to adjust or transfer it, but talk to a fee-only financial advisor, someone who doesn't earn commission from selling you anything. Life insurance should bring peace, not pressure, and you deserve a plan that protects your future, not one that quietly drains it. 2. The price of celebration. Weddings are beautiful, no doubt about it. They mark the start of a new chapter, full of hope and love. But in today's world, that celebration often comes with a heavy price. The average wedding in the United States now costs over $30,000, and too often it's parents or grandparents who help cover that bill. Out of love, yes, but sometimes at the cost of their own financial security. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, the flowers, the venue, the dress. But when the celebration ends, the payments can linger for years. And what do couples really remember? Not the linen colors or the dessert table. What lasts is the love, the vows, and the start of a life built together. Jennifer and Michael from Boston helped their daughter plan a small backyard wedding for just $5,000. With the $25,000 they saved, they gave her and her husband a down payment for their first home. That home is now filled with grandkids and memories. And none of that came from a banquet hall. So ask yourself this: is the goal a perfect day or a strong beginning? You can have both, just without the debt. Because love doesn't need to be expensive to be real, and sometimes the greatest gift we can give is wisdom. 3. Shiny toys, sinking savings. Many of us dream of that boat on the lake, a cabin in the woods, or a second home by the beach. And after decades of hard work, it feels like a well-earned reward. But here's the truth that often comes later. Those dreams can quietly become burdens. A $60,000 boat might only get used a few weekends a year. Meanwhile, maintenance, insurance, fuel, storage, and repairs keep piling up year-round. Let's say you use it 10 days a year and spend $10,000 annually to maintain it. That's $1,000 per outing, before the cost of the boat itself. The same goes for vacation homes. You might visit a few weeks each year, but the bills never take time off. Mike, a retired accountant from Tampa, bought his dream boat. Within 5 years, he was spending over $2,000 per sailing trip. Eventually, he sold it and said the greatest joy wasn't owning the boat. It was letting it go. Financially wise people still enjoy these luxuries, but they rent them. When they want to travel, they use Airbnb. When they want a boat, they book one for the day. No debt, no repairs, no regrets. Ask yourself, does this purchase bring lasting joy, or does it come with silent stress? Sometimes freedom isn't in what we buy. It's in what we choose not to own. 4. The dress code that costs you. In a world full of image and appearance, it's easy to feel pressure to look a certain way. A luxury handbag, a designer watch, or high-end shoes can seem like rewards for a life well lived. And sometimes you just want something beautiful, and that's okay. But the question worth asking is this: is it about joy, or is it about status? That $2,000 handbag or $500 pair of shoes might give a moment of pride, but what does it cost long term? If you put that money into a simple investment, it could grow into $20,000 or more over the years. And if you charge it to a credit card and only pay the minimum, the interest could double the cost without you even realizing it. The truth is, many people look successful on the outside while silently struggling with debt on the inside. Meanwhile, real millionaires often live simply. Mark Zuckerberg wears the same gray t-shirt every day. Warren Buffett still lives in the modest home he bought in 1958. Wealth is not something you wear, it's something you build. So if you love nice things, look for smarter ways to enjoy them, like buying secondhand or renting for special occasions. It's not about denying joy, it's about putting freedom first, because peace of mind is always in style. 5. The silent drain. Credit cards can be helpful tools if used with care. They offer convenience, protection, and sometimes rewards. But when a balance carries month to month, that little piece of plastic becomes one of the most dangerous financial traps out there. The average interest rate on a credit card is now over 20%. That means if you owe $5,000 and only make minimum payments, it could take more than 15 years to pay off. And by then, you might have paid over $10,000 in interest, double the cost of whatever you bought. Dave, a retired teacher from Boston, charged $7,000 to furnish his apartment. Years later, he had paid over $16,000, and the furniture was long gone. Credit card companies know exactly what they're doing. They keep minimum payments low to stretch out the debt and stretch out their profits. But you can take back control. Start with the avalanche method. Pay off the card with the highest interest first while making minimum payments on the others. Then move down the list. And if you're already debt-free, keep it that way. Use credit only for what you can pay in full each month. No interest, no regrets. Your money should work for you, not the other way around. Even one small decision, one focused month can start turning the tide. 6. Good intentions, heavy burden. For decades, we were told that a college degree was the golden ticket. Go to school, get a degree, and success would follow. But today, that promise doesn't always hold. Many students and the families who support them are finding that the cost of higher education doesn't always match the reward. The average 4-year degree now costs well over $100,000, and some graduates step into jobs that pay just $30,000 or $40,000 a year. The numbers don't add up. And when parents or grandparents co-sign on student loans, they often carry that financial weight themselves, long after graduation. Jennifer, a mother from Indiana, helped her daughter pursue a degree in the arts. They borrowed over $60,000. After 5 years, the balance barely moved. Her daughter's paycheck couldn't keep up, and Jennifer's retirement plans had to change. This isn't a failure of love. It's a flaw in the system. Before taking on student debt, ask hard questions. Will this degree lead to a stable income? Are there more affordable ways to learn the same skills? Community colleges, trade schools, and online certifications now offer strong career paths at a fraction of the cost. Helping your family doesn't have to mean risking your future. Wisdom means thinking long-term, for them and for you. 7. The gamble called hope. When money feels tight and the future uncertain, many people quietly reach for something small that offers a spark of possibility. A lottery ticket, a quick visit to the casino, or maybe just one more scratch-off. It feels harmless, maybe even hopeful. And in that moment, for just a few dollars, you get to imagine what life could be like without worry. That little flicker of what if can be comforting. But here's what we need to talk about. Not with judgment, but with honesty. The lottery and gambling are designed to take money from the people who can least afford to lose it. That's not just a theory, it's how the system is built. The odds of winning the Powerball jackpot are about 1 in 292 million. To put that in perspective, you are more likely to be struck by lightning twice. Yet the average American still spends around $400 a year on lottery tickets. That's over $3,000 every decade spent on a dream that almost never comes true. Sarah, a retired nurse from Ohio, spent nearly $15,000 over 12 years on scratch-offs and weekly Powerball games. Her biggest win? $50. One day, she added it all up, saw the total, and said, "My heart sank. I thought I was just chasing a little hope, but I didn't realize how much I was giving up to feel that way." The hard truth is that for many older Americans, gambling becomes a slow drip on their finances. It's not dramatic, it's not reckless, it's just steady, quiet loss disguised as harmless fun, and that's what makes it dangerous. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up hope to protect your money. If you enjoy the feeling of taking a chance, create a small entertainment budget. 1%, maybe 2% of your fun money, set aside intentionally. That way you still enjoy the excitement, but without risking your future. Or better yet, redirect that same energy into something with real long-term payoff. Try an investing app like Acorns or Fidelity, or even just a basic retirement account. Watching your money grow slowly, steadily, it may not give the rush of a winning ticket, but over time, it builds something real. And that feeling of progress? That's a better kind of thrill. You deserve to dream. You deserve to hope. Just make sure those dreams are planted in solid ground, not on the shifting sands of chance. 8. A false sense of paradise. After years of hard work, raising families, and doing the right thing, the idea of a peaceful vacation sounds more than appealing. It feels earned. That's why timeshares are so tempting. The sales pitch is smooth. You're shown pictures of ocean views, luxurious suites, smiling families. You're told it's an investment in memories, a home away from home. But here's what many people find out too late. Timeshares are rarely what they seem. Most timeshares start with a hefty upfront payment, often $20,000 or more. But that's just the beginning. Every year, you're responsible for maintenance fees, which might begin around $800 and grow to $2,000 or more over time. And you pay those fees whether you visit the property or not. Miss a year? You still pay. Life changes? Illness? Family emergencies? Travel restrictions? You still pay. Robert, a retired firefighter from Florida, bought a timeshare in his early 60s. 5 years later, his circumstances changed, and he couldn't travel as often. He tried to sell it for half of what he paid and got 0 offers. Not one. He discovered online forums filled with others like him, people begging someone, anyone, to take over their contracts. Some even offered to pay others just to get out. It's not just the cost, it's the lack of control. You're locked into a specific place, a specific week, every year. And if you want to change dates or locations, the fees pile up. Vacations become obligations. Paradise becomes pressure. Financially wise travelers take a different approach. They use services like Airbnb, VRBO, or simply book discounted hotels when and where they want. No contracts, no annual dues, no long-term stress. They travel with freedom and flexibility, and often for less money. And if you already own a timeshare and feel trapped, know this: you're not alone. There are legitimate companies that can help you legally exit. But be cautious. Some are scams in disguise. Do your research, read reviews, and always get advice from a trusted, independent financial advisor. Before signing any vacation contract, ask one simple question: does this give me more freedom or less? Because you deserve rest. You deserve to enjoy life, but you don't need to sign away your peace of mind to get it. 9. Upgrade addiction. Technology has changed our lives in extraordinary ways. It connects us to loved ones, gives us access to endless information, lets us shop, bank, learn, and even see our grandchildren's faces from across the country. But somewhere along the way, our helpful gadgets turned into a quiet drain on our wallets. Not because we use them, but because we keep replacing them. Every year, a new phone, tablet, or laptop comes out. The ads promise faster speeds, sharper cameras, longer battery life, and suddenly, the perfectly good phone in your hand starts to feel old, outdated, not enough. But that feeling, it isn't an accident. It's called planned obsolescence. It's when companies design products, and especially marketing, to make you believe you need the latest version, even when your current device still works just fine. Let's look at the numbers. A new smartphone today can cost over $1,000. A new laptop, $1,500 or more. If you upgrade every year, or even every 2 years, you could easily spend $10,000 to $15,000 over a decade just staying up to date. That's not small change. And if you're charging those purchases to a credit card and not paying in full, the interest adds up quickly. Robert, a retired school principal from Denver, always loved new tech. Every time a new phone came out, he bought it. He updated his laptop every other year, swapped out his tablet regularly. One day, out of curiosity, he sat down and calculated what he had spent over the last 10 years. Between phones, laptops, accessories, and warranties, the total was over $14,000. "I could have taken a cruise around the world. Twice," he said, shaking his head. This doesn't mean technology is bad. Far from it. It's helped many older adults stay connected, informed, and independent. But there's a smarter, more sustainable way to stay plugged in. Financially wise people hold on to their devices for 3, 4, even 5 years until they truly need a replacement. They buy last year's model at a discount. They consider certified refurbished devices, which often come with warranties and perform just as well. And for computers, instead of replacing the entire machine, they might upgrade the storage or memory for a few $100s. The goal isn't to go backward or live without. It's to spend with intention, not reaction. The money saved from skipping just one upgrade every couple of years? If invested wisely, it can grow into thousands of dollars down the road. That kind of progress builds peace of mind far more than a slightly faster processor. Before you click Buy Now on the latest gadget, pause and ask, does this solve a real problem in my life, or just a temporary feeling? And what would happen if I waited 6 months, or even a year? Technology should work for you, not the other way around. And when you use it with purpose, not pressure, it becomes what it was always meant to be, a tool to help you live better, not spend more. 10. The costliest drive. There's something special about a brand new car. The shine, the scent, the smooth, silent ride. It feels like a reward for decades of hard work. For many, it marks success, independence, even freedom. And truthfully, you deserve to feel proud. But when it comes to money, the cost of that feeling is higher than most people realize. The moment you drive a brand new car off the lot, it begins to lose value, fast. On average, a new car drops 15% in value the moment it leaves the dealership. Within 5 years, it can lose more than 50%. That means a $40,000 car might only be worth $20,000 5 years later. But if you financed it, you're still making payments based on the original price. Add in interest, insurance, maintenance, taxes, and fees, and the real cost can reach $50,000 or more before it's all said and done. Now let's imagine you had taken that same $40,000 and invested it in a simple S&P 500 index fund instead. Historically, over 20 years, that money could grow to more than $180,000. That's not just the cost of the car, that's the cost of lost opportunity. And here's the part that surprises many people. Most wealthy individuals, including billionaires like Warren Buffett, don't drive brand new cars. Buffett famously drove a modest used Cadillac long after becoming one of the richest men in the world. Why? Because he understood something few people talk about. A car is not an investment. It is a depreciating asset. It takes money out of your pocket every month, not just in payments, but in insurance, fuel, maintenance, and taxes. It doesn't build wealth, it chips away at it. So what's the wiser alternative? Buy used, but not just any used car. Look for a vehicle that's 2 or 3 years old with low mileage, ideally from a trusted source. Brands like Toyota and Honda are known for reliability, and many used cars still come with part of the original manufacturer's warranty. That one choice, buying gently used instead of brand new, can save you $10,000 to $15,000 instantly. And if you're someone who truly values the new car experience, that's okay. But take a step back and ask yourself, is that experience worth trading away $180,000 of future peace? For some, the answer might still be yes. But for many, with time and perspective, it becomes a clear no. This isn't about guilt, it's about choice. You've worked too hard to let your money slip away on things that don't last. When you make decisions based on value, not image, you protect what really matters. Your freedom, your future, and your peace of mind. We've covered a lot today. 10 quiet traps that often go unnoticed, yet slowly chip away at the peace and financial freedom we've worked so hard to build. And maybe, as you listened, you saw yourself in a few of them. If that stirred up some regret, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not behind, you are not too late, and you are absolutely not alone. The truth is, most of us were never taught these things. We made choices with the information we had. But now, you have something better. You have clarity. And with clarity comes power. The power to make new decisions, to protect what you've earned, and to build a future that feels lighter, freer, and more intentional. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware. It's about choosing differently moving forward, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Because even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, your financial story isn't finished. There are still pages to be written, and you get to decide what they say. So let me ask you, which one of these traps are you ready to walk away from? Which one hit closest to home? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below, even just a few words like, "This really spoke to me," or "I needed this today." Your voice matters, and your story might help someone else feel seen too. And if this message resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe to this channel. Here at Thoughtful Elders Insight, we're building a space for honest, clear, and compassionate advice, tailored for the season of life you're in now. Because wisdom doesn't retire, it only grows stronger. Until next time, take care of yourself and your future.